Hi, I'm Johnny Brentwood, and today I'm going to rank the entire Filter discography. Happy 2024. How's everyone doing in YouTube land? So it's been a while since I uploaded a video onto YouTube, and I've been super busy with work and school. I just want to say a big thanks to those who subscribe to my channel. Big thank you to anyone that ever clicked on the like button or even just wrote a comment. Thank you so much. Okay, without further ado, let's get right into this album ranking. This is one of my favorite bands. I met the lead singer and creator of the band, Richard Patrick. He is a very nice guy. I met him back in 2010 before I joined the military, and I have been a fan since the incarnation of Filter back in '95. A lot of you probably who do listen to Filter know that Richard, the lead singer, was the tour guitar player for Nine Inch Nails back in the late 80s, early 90s. Eventually he branched off and did his own thing, thus Filter. So, for starters, I'm not going to include any greatest hits or anything. It's just going to be the studio albums. I would like to mention, there are some singles out there, but, unfortunately, as I stated, it is a studio album ranking. So let's get right into it. At number 8, Crazy Eyes. For most Filter fans, this album tends to rank towards the bottom of the list. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I guess it just depends on your acquired taste. As for me, I thought this album was a little bit of a mixed bag. I just felt that Richard was trying to recapture that short bus era, and he was just pulling in many directions. Now, I always enjoy listening to his vocals and the hard riffs, but because it's just all over the place, I felt like the album didn't know what it wanted to be. Is it supposed to be an industrial album? Is it supposed to be a hard rock album? I would just say pick a direction. Still not a bad album, and this can be interchangeable with the next album on this list. At number 7, The Amalgamut. There isn't enough snow to see through. I actually wrote down some notes for this one. So, this sounds like Filter stripped down. Musically, it sounds very bare bones. A pretty straightforward hard rock album. Where do we go from here? So I Quit, I think, are standout tracks here. Lyrically is where I think this album stands, where it shines. Richard tackles on drug abuse, addiction, Columbine massacre, and the state of the nation at the time this album was written. So overall, I think it's a solid album, but once again, it's just bare bones. I feel that Richard had written better material moving forward after this. Now, some of you have ranked this higher from what I've seen on message forums. And hey, power to you. You're going to have your opinion. I'm going to have my opinion. But I just think that there's other material out there. And as I said a moment ago, the lyrics, definitely, if you have this record on your shelf, break it out, read some of the songs. Like I mentioned, So I Quit. I love the opening to that. And Where Do We Go From Here? And I believe it's American Cliché. That's another one. So please check out this album. At number 6, Anthems for the Damned. I think this album is terrific. Now, I am a little biased when I say that it's probably because I previously served in the military, and the thing is, Richard dedicated this album to those who served during Operation Iraqi Freedom. So a big thank you to Richard and the crew who recorded this album during that time period. Now, this is a highly charged, politically charged album, and there are a lot of themes throughout the album. But without getting into politics here, all I'll say is that I really dug the sound, and there are standout tracks such as Kill the Day and Soldiers of Misfortune. And there is one thing about this album that people have made reference to, and I actually would have to agree with those, when I say that Richard sounds like Bono from U2. Now, if that's your cup of tea, that's great, wonderful. If it's not, well, it is what it is. Go on to another Filter record. Coming in at number 5 is Title of Record. I have a lot to say on this one, so I'm going to condense it and try not to ramble. So, okay, my first impressions when I first heard this, I was a little disappointed when I was younger, because I had purchased Short Bus, I thought it was excellent, and then this record came out, and it was like, wait a minute, this is a departure from the previous raw, hit you in the face type of sound, and over time I grew to appreciate it. Now, Richard has a tendency to balance both that raw energy and that melodic type of sound. He's one of the few musicians I could think of that really knows how to not only balance it, but he does it well. I think Change is good to the catalog. I thought his clean vocals throughout the album was top-notch, and I really do believe that Welcome to the Fold is one of the greatest openings to any album. I just think that those who are dismissive of change is not a bad thing. I think when an artist decides to go outside of their comfort zone, that's wonderful, because in order for you to grow as an artist, you have to challenge yourself, and sometimes you have to knock down those walls, and that's what Richard did. I mean, for crying out loud, he created Take a Picture, which deals with alcoholism, and it's one of the greatest singles ever written, especially in the 90s. It's I guarantee if you're in a supermarket or wherever you are, driving in the car, on a bicycle, you've probably heard Take a Picture or Welcome to the Fold or the Red Light, Green Light song. I'm drawing a blank here. The Best Things in Life. There you go. So, once again, another classic. Just a little bit, there's dark elements and light elements throughout the album. And there's one track, I think it's Captain Bligh, where Richard makes reference to Nine Inch Nails. I'm pretty sure it is about Trent Reznor. I'm not entirely sure. Once again, there are other albums that will surpass this, and I will discuss when I get to it. I must have filmed this at least 4 times. I don't know what else to really say, so I'm going to stop rambling. Coming in at number 4, The Sun Comes Out Tonight. Oftentimes I refer to this as the commercial album or the pop album. Here, Richard does something entirely different. Every song is structured like it belongs on the radio, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 tracks. Now, I don't mind pop. I don't mind soft rock, whatever, to each their own. So Richard does it a little differently. He incorporates piano, the melodies, the harmonies. It works, and that's because Richard, he has those clean vocals, and I'm just trying to think like what else that can be said about it. It's just a pretty soft. It's just soft. All right. Now, standout tracks: Surprise, What Do You Say, and Take That Knife Out of My Back. So that's probably one of the heaviest tracks on the record. And I really dig the last one. It's Just You and It's My Time. Back to back. If you're driving at night, throw those on. So once again, if you're just getting into Filter and you're into the soft stuff, listen to this one. I don't remember the themes throughout it. I haven't read the lyrics in quite some time. Sometimes I tune out, and I guess this is another type of record that you would throw on if you just want to tone out and just relax, as opposed to the other records that Richard Patrick wrote. So give this one a listen. At number 3, The Algorithm. This is easily one of the best records that came out last year in 2023. I've referenced this to friends that I consider this to be their most diverse as far as with musical structures. You know, you have heavy elements, you have harmonies. It's like a hard rock album that's close to being I would say raw, but it has its heavy moments. It hits the beat at the right time. You'll have one track that's got these choruses and catchy lyrics, and then another track it's like it's not as heavy, but it's like just right. It's just right. And the lyrics deal with what's going on today in America. As far as with Richard's vocals, I would say he sounds a little grisly here. He still proves that he, despite how his vocals sound, he still proves that he can create something truly remarkable. Those of you who gave up on Filter, or if you forgot about Filter, I highly recommend you go out there and you just pick this album up, or you just get it from iTunes. And this is the only one I don't have as far as with a physical copy. I don't have it, and I'm looking to get it. Standout tracks: For the Beating, Say It Again, Face Down, The Drowning, Thrashing Floor is one of my favorite Filter tracks. So once again, it's the most diverse. There's a mixture of pop, hard rock, and elements of just like drops of raw energy throughout it. It's beautifully blended. So highly recommend it. Please go buy it. At number 2, The Trouble with Angels. Throughout this list, I have mentioned many things. I've talked about lyrical content, Rich's vocal range, the guitar riffs, the melodies, the harmonies. Well, for this album, the production value is through the roof. Whoever mixed this did an incredible job. You can actually hear everything to a crisp. I can actually hear the guitar work. I can hear the keyboards. Everything on this album is tightly knit, even though there are hard tracks and soft tracks. Everything is sequenced. It's like as if it's depicting life through its ups and downs. That's how I view this album. I will be quite honest here. I don't remember most of the lyrics, but as far as the tracks, No Love, No Reentry, and some of the B-side tracks, if you get the Digipack, there's a track called Plum. Excellent. I think this is one of the best records I've heard on, I think it was 2010 when it came out. I had this on repeat for about a couple of months before I left for the military. Every track is excellent. It's very hard to put it in number 1 because of reasons. Now to number 1. And coming in at number 1, to no surprise, is Short Bus. Wow, I have a lot to say about this album, a lot. Well, for starters, Short Bus was the 3rd CD I had ever purchased. I remember when I was growing up in Bayshore, New York. There used to be this mall called the Gardner Manor Mall, and in the Gardner Manor Mall there was Sam Goody, and I remember I picked up Short Bus. It was the 3rd CD. The first CD I got was Primus, Tales from the Punch Bowl. The second CD was Foo Fighters, self-titled, and then the third, Short Bus. All right, let's get into it. So, why do I think this is the best album? Well, for starters, it's that brooding, raw energy. Everything from Richard's howls to the heavy riffs to the lyrical content. This is Anger in a Bottle 101. I also like the fact that Richard was trying to disassociate himself from Nine Inch Nails, and you know what? He succeeded. He didn't want to recapture or recreate that industrial sound. This is not an industrial album by any means. I don't think so, at least. Did you know the guitar riff in Hey Man, Nice Shot? Well, that's actually the guitar player who recorded the guitar work on Short Bus for Hey Man, Nice Shot. His name was Stuart Zekman or something. He actually took that guitar riff from another song he had previously recorded. He was in a band called Stabbing Westward. The name of the song was called Ungod. And he took the guitar riff from that. I'll play it right now. And here's Hey Man, Nice Shot. Notice the similarities? What else can I say? Hey Man, Nice Shot, Dose. I think that raw energy, just the sink in on that. At the time when this came out in '95, I had never heard anything quite like it. Very angry. The lyrical content, he discusses his personal experiences, and Hey Man, Nice Shot is based around this politician that shot himself. I don't remember the entire story, but overall, if you love raw energy, screaming, dark content, I mean, this is a go-to album. It's a must-have, and this is what put Richard on the map as far as it shot him up to stardom. Some would argue and say that not Hey Man, Nice Shot, it was Take a Picture. I would disagree. I remember when I first heard this song, Hey Man, Nice Shot, it was actually the Demon Knight soundtrack. I was watching the movie and I was like, who is this? This is, I've never heard anything quite like it. And then the rest is history, and that's why I went out and I picked up the CDs. Okay, so now that I revealed my top Filter albums, what's your opinion? Which is your favorite Filter record? Which is your least favorite? What tracks do you enjoy? What tracks do you hate? Do you like Richard's side projects? Do you like Army of Anyone? Do you like the singles that are released from '95 and onwards? Filter is one of those bands that continues to try new things and evolves by doing so. Once again, I just want to thank all the subscribers on my channel. Thank you so much. Thank you for being patient. I just put this together quickly. I wrote a few notes on my iPhone, and I just wanted to capture what I was thinking, what I was feeling when I was listening to these albums recently. But in the meantime, thank you so much. Have a great day. Please like and subscribe to my channel and share this video. Thank you so much. Take care.